του νυν και έως του αιώνος.
Εις όνομα του Πατρός και του Υιού και του Αγίου Πνεύματος. Αμήν. Please be seated. Καλημέρα σας. Good morning. One more time. Good morning. Good morning. Kalimera. Kalimera, Georgia. When all hope is lost, when the darkness, the sorrow, the terror, that blackness of soul and of night, when that moment comes, we must remember that hope is not lost. That when we face the inevitable challenges that we all face, there will come a time when it seems that all is against you. That sorrow after sorrow, loss follows loss. That sickness or death or darkness threatens to overwhelm us. We all must pass through these trials of fire, pass through tribulations that test, things that will put us to the absolute limits of what we are capable to bear. This is a fact. And if you have not faced such a trial, I say, prepare. Make ready your soul, your mind, and your heart. Because one thing is for certain, my brothers and sisters. Even though we believe, even though we put our hope, our faith, and our love for God in Him, even when we do everything right, or correct, or good, or just, or holy, even when all seems there is nothing more you can do, accidents happen. Sorrow happens. Tragedy, loss, death, despair. We are not immune, in other words, to face the trials and the tribulations that the world inevitably will offer us. And so one response when this sadness or brokenness, loss happens, can be pity, self-pity. Oh, why me? What did I do to deserve this? It can be anger, right? You can be angry with God. Have any of you ever felt angry towards the Lord? It's okay to feel anger. We can feel sorrow, or brokenness. You see, we have this incredible ability to choose how we respond to adversity. There are things in your control, and there are things out of your control. And so those things that you cannot control, that you cannot do anything about, stop trying to do something. Let it go. Release all those things that we are giving our time and our energy to that are absolutely fruitless. You know what I'm talking about. Christ said, "What does it do to worry you?" Can you add 1 second to your life by worry? No. Don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will worry about itself. But there are things you can do. And those are the things that we have to focus on. That we have to recognize when I wake up in the morning, I can make my bed. I can put my shoes on. I can make that phone call and do whatever it is I need to do for that day. You see, the great resilience that we have, this ability to face adversity. We hear the story of Christ showing us just today. A woman who lost her son and her husband. You see, in the ancient days, a woman needed her husband or her father to make ends meet. The women didn't work in those days. And so if a woman lost, first of all, her husband who worked and made the money, then she relied on her children. And this particular mother lost her husband and her son. And so this woman, weeping in the blackest pit of night, that loss, imagine, I'm sure some of us have felt that loss of a loved one. Pray even of a child. You know that depth of sorrow that I'm talking about. And so in this moment, this woman is at her wit's end. And following the casket of her only son, a light appears. The hope, the life of Christ shines in the darkness and touches the funeral procession and says, "Child, rise." And the boy sits and he speaks. I would love to know what he said. Being raised from the dead. What words could you say? Being dead and then being raised. And all it took, my brothers and sisters, that spark that brought that boy to life was compassion. Esplachnisti epaftis. He felt moved towards this poor woman. He felt in his heart, I have to do something. And so rest assured that when you are in that place, when you are in that sorrow, in that pit, in that hole that we do find ourselves, the Lord feels your pain. The Lord gives you His life and His light every Sunday from that chalice. You already have that power of the resurrection. And so let your light shine before men. Amen.